So, now we get into public domain. Now, amongst the entire lineup of this awesome blackened deathcore band based out of Germany, and a band that I really found, I think, because of the 4 fans of mental cruelty demographic, more or less, going on Spotify. I love their logo. Instagram sent me an ad because Instagram seems to be my best friend in talent scouting in the last couple years. Today we host on the Anatomy Crosscast, Grimnis. I managed to find this band, and now, after long ado, we are talking again to the entire lineup. We got 4 Chris's and a gentleman named Jew. Oh, 3?
3, yeah.
3.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot.
Already changed your name. It's too late.
Right. There are a lot of people named Chris in this band, and I think that will play into the title pretty well. 3 Chris's, 1 Jew, or 3 Chris's, 1 Jan, 1 Jew. So we're gonna go ahead then and dive head first into the people part of this crosscast, okay? And what I want to do is have each of you gentlemen introduce us once again, especially for our audio listeners who will get the bits and pieces first of this crosscast. Again, introduce yourself by name, by the name that we will be associating you with here in today's crosscast. Tell us your position in the band and a fun fact about yourself in the same order that we did in the BTS segment, as that will be the order for the session.
Okay, yeah. I am Chris Hambrink. I'm the vocalist of Grimnis, and fun fact about me is I love White Monster.
Yo, we got goth ear girl in chat, bro. Fucking love it. All right.
By one character trait, you stole it. No.
This is the German meta then, huh? That would be funny. Just like everyone's like, yeah, we drink White Monsters, but we're not ethos or any shit like that. We don't flash people in public. All right, Zedeker, go ahead and introduce us.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris. Seneca with a heart, but
Okay.
Zineker is fine too. It's not that important.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say it. But that's not the fun fact. The fun fact about myself is that I played trombone in a church brass ensemble.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Fucking lore drop. All right.
Yes. One of us has to.
All right. Nibel, sir, you're next.
Yeah, I go by the name Nebel, but
Nebel. Okay. Jesus Christ.
It's German word for mist
Nebel.
or fog or something. So basically, I'm Chris too, but I had to pick an artist name. And Nebel is the German word for mist or fog or something like that. Yeah. The fun fact about me is I think I'm the only member of Grimnis who is hating on animes. So
Okay.
but everybody in here hates me for hating on it. So
Well, if I may then, why? I want to understand.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. Even I don't understand it because I'm actively trying. I'm sending the guys photos of me having a session on watching Attack on Titan and something like that, and cooking me a nice meal to relax on the show. But I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I see the art. I see everything. I see the fantastic words. I see the storytelling and all the efforts, and I can feel it. But it doesn't connect with me. It's just a person.
I see.
I don't know why.
Well, maybe I can provide you some recommendations as we get farther into the conversation. Because I mean, Attack on Titan, yeah, that's a starter kit show, but there's an Attack on Titan that's better than Attack on Titan, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I heard all of this, and these guys are on a mission to to get me into this, but
We'll see. We'll see. All right, Nibel, thank you. John, you're next, sir.
Yeah, all right. My name is Jan. I play guitar, and
Jan.
fun fact. Oh my gosh. I I'm absolutely into bodybuilding. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, I like it
I'm
too,
trying to get
yeah.
into it myself, so that works out.
So what is in that bowl, man?
What is in the bowl? We got some cornbread and we got some turkey with some honey mustard on it, and then I just got an Angry Orchard. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Trying to stay nutritious and well fed during this crosscast. All right, Zhu, you are next, sir.
Well, my name is Ju, and I play the drums. And I'm sorry about why it is not my my color. It's Monster Green, zero sugar, all day long.
Yeah, 0 sugar, man. Don't deal with those sugar crashes. Fun fact about yourself, sir?
That was kind of a fun fact, but yeah, that's another one. I actually shared a stage with a well-known what is it, Schlagersänger in Germany?
oh god.
It's kind of
It's
It's
German
like
folk.
German techno
like-
for all people.
Yeah, it's kind of cringe.
It's okay. Hey, we don't use the word cringe in these conversations. That like we're learning about each other. It's okay. But no, that's awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. So we got Hamburg, we got Sinecker, we got Nebel, we got Jan and Ju, right? That's a better pronunciation? Okay. I feel less American.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a pet peeve of mine now. Like talking with Indonesian bands and Russian bands, it's like, dude, fucking pronounce their names right. Like, but thank you, gentlemen. Again, we have the entire band in chat with us tonight, and this doesn't happen often, so I'm going to relish in the opportunity. And one real quick. Okay. Finn might be jumping into chat here pretty soon, but he might be in and out. Like I said, during the BTS segment, we're trying to get him on. Like, we haven't had him on in such a long time. It's insane. But awesome. Now we'll go ahead and dig into the background of y'all, okay? I want to learn everything there is relevant to you guys' story. And I'm sure all of the fans of Grimnis, or your first full length, The Path of the Flame, not The Path of the Light, The Path of the Flame, I'm sure they will want to hear about these stories as well. So, frontman syndrome time. Hambrick, you go first, sir. Let's go ahead and dig into your background. Let's learn about any side projects or even secondary hobbies you have outside of music, and everything leading up to you either founding, because I don't know, or joining Grimnis. Please and thank you.
Okay, yeah, there's quite a lot to unpack there. So I try to keep it a bit streamlined. So essentially, I started out as a guitar player. I was influenced by In Flames during my teens. I think I picked up the instrument at age 15. I got taught how to play the guitar by Guido Wehmeyer, German power metal OG, essentially. And yeah, I like every guitar player in the 2010s, I had a home studio with a microphone laying around, and yeah, I was looking at the SM58 and I was like, man, I'm angry. I want to scream into this thing, and yeah, that's kind of how I picked up vocals. It was by pure chance. I pulled up a Logic lesson, a Logic session. I was covering some Infinite Annihilator for just shits and giggles, and it clicked. So that's kind of how I picked up vocals. I think the cover is still on YouTube. Like I recorded a cover on my first day of trying out vocals. nailing some tunnel throats and fry highs, and that's kind of where the grind started. My favorite bands that inspired me on my way were, as I said, In Flames, Cobb. I think after my mellow death days, it was Gent, Periphery, Born of Osiris, All Shall Perish, and after that, Infinite Annihilator, and that shit just stuck with me, man. Like, still to this day, my favorite deathcore band of all time, and yeah, aside from that, I was working with two bands that nobody knows as a guitar player, and then I tried out as a vocalist in numerous bands, and yeah, with these guys, everything's fine and dandy. I joined the band I think 1 year ago, a year and a half ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I worked on their debut release, so it's yeah, really the start of the band for us all. Um, yeah. Aside from that, hobbies. I mean, I do some weightlifting from time to time as well, like Jan, and I love to play video games. I was playing competitive Super Smash Bros. For some time.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I also am a producer. I love to mix and master for bands, so that's what I'm doing on the side. As for my day job, I am a screaming coach. I own my own screaming school, Scream On, and yeah, I teach people from all over the world how to scream in a healthy manner. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm living for this shit.
Hell yeah. No, a lifer. We love to hear it. If I may ask, what are some bands that you've produced for?
Oh, bands that I've produced for. Let me think if there's anything that you could know. Actually, fun fact, because this is kind of my upbringing as a producer was in the hip hop scene. I was
Ooh.
actually mixing for German battle rappers first and foremost for like the first 4 years of my production career, and just some unknown local bands in in the metal
Yeah.
realm, let's say. And I think with this Grimnis album, this was the first really serious metal release that I've ever mixed and mastered. So
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. Like, not only did you decide to jump into the music industry as a vocalist, first starting out really as a guitarist for a couple bands, could you quote the names of those bands? Even if they're
yeah.
unknown?
So the first one was called Seconds to the End. The second one was called Forever on Earth.
Okay.
And yeah, that's kind of it. After that, I was like, okay, I felt dumb putting in the hours into the instrument of the guitar, because it was such a pain to get good at guitar. It can be a real struggle. So I'm thankful for these beautiful gentlemen here who put in the work. But vocals, they just kind of came to me, and I didn't have to. I mean, I grinded away at vocals anyway. It's just to become great at it. But it came to me so in such a natural manner that I felt like, okay, I need to pursue this because my odds at becoming excellent at it are way higher than with a guitar. So
Yeah, fair enough. And what I do appreciate as well, because I would recommend this to any person who is a vocalist or frontman of a band, is, of course, you can have your reputation as a vocalist, as a screamer, but what else can you contribute to a band? That's kind of the running meme. That's been the running meme for a long time. Possibly even the running joke is like, oh, this guy doesn't even help us fucking carry in and out equipment when we're performing at venues, right? Like, that's a joke for the most part, but of course there were examples of that here and there throughout the years. So it's like, what else do you do for the band? Well, maybe not for the band, which I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that you do outside of vocals. Lyricism, of course, that goes hand in hand with being the speaker, right? Being the voice of the band. But then you developed your own production studio. You've developed a reputation for that, I'm sure, which I can almost guarantee that reputation will carry into the future, because that means that you are involved in some bands' final touches as far as sound engineering before they unleash an EP, a single, or an album alike. That's important. And then because you understood and you knew within your heart, you trusted your gut, and you capitalized on your skills and your prowess as a vocalist, well, now you teach others how to do it as well and turn it into a service that hopefully so far has been relatively sustainable for you financially. Because it's hard. It's hard to not like try to go all in, but also have a realistic financial backbone, right? So I commend you for that, and I wish you the greatest success possible for everything that you're contributing as a lifer to the music industry right now. And thank you for sharing that with us. I'm sure your fans will love to hear about that. Maybe some
so
fans
nice.
will reach
Thank
out
you.
someday. Yeah. Maybe some people that listen to this band will reach out one day and be like, hey, can you produce my band and make it sound like Grimnis? And you're like, okay. Like, you never know. That could be a possibility. But now we move on to Zineker. Sineker, right? With a S. So, take it away, sir.
Yes. Um, mm, mm, mm. Can we get back at the question? Because
Yes.
I think, can we repeat it, please?
Yes, of course. So, what we're doing right now and what I want to do in the people segment is go ahead and go as far back as what you think is relevant to you becoming a musician, really getting involved in the music industry, potential side hobbies, and everything you think that is important leading up to you being involved in Grimnis. Which is
Yeah, that's what I figured, but it's a ton.
Sure.
Um, uh, should I just start at the beginning, or should
Yes.
I
Yes.
I'm looking for my members.
Oh,
Okay, it's gonna be a long
oh.
night then. Um, so it all started when I was 5, and my parents thought I was gifted because, of course, their child is. And they sent me to recorder lessons, and I took recorder, and I was not gifted, and that was okay. But recorder was a horrendous instrument, but even my child brain knew something was there. There is something. So later, when I turned 12, a buddy of mine, whose father was a pastor in a local church, said, "Don't you want to go take fucking tenor horn lessons?" If you don't know what a tenor horn is, it's like a smaller, crappy tuba with back issues. So it's humped. And it's actually, it's, it's laughing. I'm pouring on myself. No, I've been waiting for this moment, you guys to see. No, I was taking those lessons, and I was taking them almost half-heartedly, and I just did them. I sucked, but I learned what a bass is and how it does um go in functional harmony. And then I turned 15 and I was finally big enough for the big boys club. I was outgrowing the tenor horn. I was becoming a teenager. I was becoming a man, and it was time for the trombone. So I took fucking trombone lessons for another year in my local church, which I just did because I was doing this. And some evening, my parents said to me, "Chris, do you even like this?" And I said, "No, it's not. I can stop." They never told me I could stop. And so I stopped taking trombone lessons. And the problem was I didn't know what to sink my fucking life on Earth into from then on because I had nothing. And I stumbled upon a game called Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero. Warriors of Rock. And then I heard the song This Day We Fight by everybody's favorite metal band, Megadeth. Uh, and it was like, this is moving something in me. I need to know what this is. But it was just the sea. Then I moved on to the song Fury of the Storm by Dragon Force. And it was, okay, I want to learn guitar. And my parents were like, you just quit trombone like a year ago. Just don't. And I was like, yes, buy me a guitar right now. I will prove it to you. And they bought me a fucking Aldi guitar. Do you have Aldi overseas?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we do. It's just you
Yeah,
don't really
okay.
see them that often, or neither are they mentioned that often. I have a feeling you're about to explain to
Yes.
me why.
I don't know. It's just a German thing. I don't know why. There's economics. I don't know anything about that. But I got this crappy ass guitar. It was not even an electric guitar, and I was playing Master of Puppets on a fucking 70 euro Aldi acoustic guitar, and I was doing this, and finally, I was playing an instrument that I liked, and finally, I was gaining
Momentum.
some recognition in the eyes of my parents, so much so that they went and bought me a $70 electric guitar, which was equally as crappy, but I played it. And you know what? I tried to get good on it. And isn't it that what counts? So the next 10 years, I stumbled through different bands, which were like, let's call them bands, which are jamming and drinking in their practice room and not going anywhere fast. Of course, as soon as I would leave them, they would like get more gigs. So it's a Charlie Brown situation, maybe. But yeah, finally, I was taking vocal lessons by Chris in his screaming school, and I was pouring my soul out quite like I did here, and he said, "Yeah, maybe I got a job for you, but I don't know. You would need a 7 string, and would you really know? And do you know deathcore even?" And I was like, "No, I'm core kid. I listen to Bullet, yeah."
Okay.
And it's like, let's see. And a year later, he said, "Hey, maybe I set you up." And I was like, I don't even know if I even want to be in a band. Drinking in a Proberaum is getting stale, like in practice space, rehearsal room, whatever. And
Pardon me.
but no, I met up with Nebel, and it was like love at first sight. And then I got to know the other guys, and it was just like a warm, fuzzy feeling. And that's how I got into Grimnis. I'm not really born out of the scene. I've got many different influences far away from metal, as far as you can go, actually. Um, but yeah, it's been a wild ride, and it's gonna be a circus fire, I think, for the next 30 years. So, yeah, that's the story.
No, honestly, I love that. It seems that, obviously because you guys have been in a band for such a long time, this is a story that the other guys have heard. And the fact that, like, they were all trying to keep composed and not laugh as much as they were, I'm like, yeah, these guys are comfortable with each other, and I love to see it. I can't help, usually, I have this, I don't know if it's just, like, orbiting the same way that I want to gravitate and have people more positive and more fun orbit around me. But I swear, like, the moment I see, especially a full room of people just start laughing, but they're all muted because they're trying not to cause audio interference, I'm like, these guys are fun. These guys are cool. And one of our most recent sessions, I kid you not, it was just a chaotic conversation, but this is exactly the type of people that I want to have on the show is people who are comfortable with, like, you know, kind of jabbing at each other and whatnot, but overall they come together and they make such beautiful music that I have yet to hear, as I've only heard a couple snippets. But I'm curious then, Mr. Sineker, about your outlying, out of metal musical inspirations. So what are some prolific artists that you would say are big inspirations for you that have nothing to do with metal? You're currently muted, sir. Okay. There we go.
Frédéric Chopin, Mahler, Mendelssohn, all the great melody makers, Tchaikovsky. And what really gets me in music is an amazing melody, which is wild, since I just said Dragon Force is what got me into it. And you can, they have great melodies, but they are so fast, you can't really get them. And Tchaikovsky is so slow that it's like, get it. That's why I like the fast ones. So, those are really the classical influences. Then there's jazz artists, Miles Davis, of course, Charlie Parker. What's the guy with the saxophone? Coltrane. Is he the one with the saxophone? Is he? I don't know. I don't know my jazz guys by heart.
Yes.
I studied classical guitar. Fernando Sor, Francisco Tárrega, Francisco Carulli, his brother Ferdinando Carulli, Johann Caspar Metz. A whole lot of melody makers is what I incorporated into my style and which I strive to be.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Sineker, for disclosing then your roadmap, your story, your background so far. Honestly, I think that's one of, like, the seemingly most entertaining, even for the band members, people segment introductions that we've had in a long time, and I love to see it. Neighbor, it is now your turn, sir. Let's go.
Yeah, man, how can I top that? I mean, to be honest, going after Chris is so hard because he's by far the greatest storyteller of us, and it's just, I mean, when you see us laughing, it's just because we have so much love for each other, and it's just we are so easy with each other. And actually, I think nobody did know that Chris played the trombone. The story was also new for us. So. But he has so many stories to tell.
And isn't it such a fun fact?
It's awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So for me, my background is it's like so atypical for so many musicians. I started out while I was a teenager, and I think every metal teenager had this silly old guitar in his room and just trying out and noodling some riffs without having any clue. And that was basically me until the point where I said, okay, I want to make something serious out of it. And I started to have my first band. And the thing was, my very first band was actually a technical death metal band. Ooh. And so I set the bar so high right from the beginning, and that was like let's call it the local scene time, where almost every other musician has to go through. You play in local bands and in small projects that have less or more effort and success, and that was the time when I met Jan. So he was also in a local band in our town, and we had contact and got to know each other. And so I think I went from project to project until the pandemic. And within the pandemic, I was just, I had a moment when I had so much time to go through all the material I've ever written in my life. I mean, it's also like in home studio musicians classic. You have a hard drive somewhere, and in this hard drive there is a folder. And in this folder, there's tons of gigabytes of like Guitar Pro data and some notes of riffs and stuff like that. And I was just, okay, I have the time. Let's go through all this. And I just took 2 weeks to go all through the material, and I just discovered stuff that I was sure I could make a record of. And I just reflected on myself, where I am as a musician, and I just had to see that I'm in facing the middle of the 30s, and I just wanted to have a project where I can just basically lay all my experience in, all my power, all my knowledge, everything, and this should be the one shot and the one serious project I want to make. And yeah, so I had the vision for Grimnis and everything we are trying to achieve. And so I took the material and basically wrote an album out of it. And that was like the beginning hour and the birth of this whole project and the band. So yeah, and I mean, I knew Chris, vocalist Chris, from just my time in the recent years. I think he is a solid vocalist. I just hit him up and showed him the material. He was all into it. And in the very first days, there was still a different lineup of the band. And I think out of the original lineup, only Chris is still here. And then I was looking for other members and just gathered around these group of talented freaks. Yeah.
Hell yeah, cool. What could you name off some of the older projects that you were involved in, just to kind of speak upon your own history as a musician?
I think none of the project is known internationally. Right. So there was a band called Momentary. It was in our Gen phase where Jan was actually part of, and so we had a band with each other for time, but I don't think that any band I was in had any success that is mentioned.
Yeah, no, not even just like speaking about them because they were successful, but just like reflecting upon your history. Maybe people more local to your part of the world in Germany, let alone maybe even your own city, are like, oh yeah, I remember this Momentarian band. It's like maybe they know that. Maybe they look back and remember that, and they're like, "Oh, I knew this handsome devil with the now salt and pepper beard and a shiny bald head. I knew he was in that band." You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was a time I had hairs on my head too, so
I think it works for you. It looks really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty, so Jan, it is your turn, sir.
All
Same
right.
way we've been doing the whole time.
Yeah, okay. So I started playing guitar when I was 11 years old. My father had a guitar, a Stratocaster, yeah, and an very old amp, no distortion. And I grabbed the guitar one day, and within one day I played something like a Beatles Yellow Submarine or something like that, just the chords. And that was the day when I knew that the guitar is my instrument, yeah. And later I just learned some simple stuff like Blink-182, Green Day, all these soft pop stuff, yeah. And later Metallica, and Children of Bodom and stuff like this, yeah. And one day, I played in a punk rock band, yeah, when I was 17 years old, yeah, for 2 years, yeah, I think for 2 years. And one day I was getting in a pub with a friend, and we met some other guy from a local band, a bigger local band. And he was guitarist there too. And my friend said, "Oh my God, here, you know him? He can shout." And he talked about me, yeah. And I was totally drunk, and I did the normal thing anyone could do in this moment. I did a shout, in the club. Yeah. And he said, "Oh yes, yes, yes. Maybe someday we can do some music together." And a half year later, he texted me, and yeah, 3 weeks later, I was in a band. Yeah, as a singer. Yeah, and that's how my singer career had started at this point. Yeah, and I played in this band for I think 3 years. And after this, I changed to another band, and we had maybe 40 gigs at all. Yeah, about 6 or 7 years. And after we broke up with the band, I joined Chris with Momentary. Yeah. And after this, I didn't want to go as a singer into a band again, and I wanted to get really good, to get better at guitar, and to reach a really good point in my life. Yeah, and I wanted to be the best guitarist I can be, and so I practiced my ass off and get better, better, better. But there is still some air, you know. But I just want to be, yeah, very, very good. And this whole band project came in, and I loved it. I practiced my ass off. I'm now I'm struggling with some recordings for some new stuff. Yeah, but it's all part of the process. Yeah, and it makes so much fun. Yeah, I love it, and yeah,
Hell yeah. Cool.
yeah.
What are some of your most prolific bands that have helped push you and keep you motivated and get better and better as the years go by?
Yeah, back in the days, Blink-182, absolutely, absolutely dream band. And later, bands like the
The Browning. Okay.
Browning, yeah, uh, Job for a Cowboy, Oceano, yeah, stuff like this, yeah,
Sweet. Okay.
yeah,
Thank you, sir. I think the only other question that could possibly correlate with that of the questions I've already asked, Hambrick, Sinecker, and Nebel, would be that of like any side hobbies or any like maybe your financial backbone that helps you be able to be in this band and be an
yeah,
equal contributor. Keep
yeah.
yourself afloat.
I'm working as an in the IT, yes, as an IT.
Hmm.
Uh, yes, it's IT administration. Yeah,
Okay. Sweet.
yeah, it's cool, and it's okay. Yeah.
And with you then being also a bodybuilder, sir, what is your current goal as far as like
Oh man,
physical prowess?
I'm happy I can't gain any more, I think, but I can yeah, do my best to take these muscles that I have at this point. Yeah,
Yeah,
there have
I
been
think your
days
goal should
maybe.
be
Yeah.
your goal should be to keep every single muscle in your body twice as big as my torso.
Yeah. Oh man, I had a time when I was ripped as fuck, yeah. But it's maybe 4 years ago, yeah. I had this goal to do a photo shooting for me, so I can show some pictures to my son later in the days, or to my grandson, and say, "Yeah, your old dad looked like Terminator Man." Yeah, and that was my goal.
Okay.
And he really did.
So yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I got these
It's gonna
pictures
be
and I'm happy
amazing.
about it. Yeah.
Okay. What's your max right now as far as like a deadlift or, you know, some of the
Deadlift. Oh man, my back is broken as fuck. Yeah. I did 220. Yeah, 220.
220. Okay, that's
Yeah.
actually pretty impressive. That's good. That means you can at least
Yeah.
throw a person that's 210 pounds. Just like, wow. Fucking awesome.
Wait, you mean kilos,
To
right?
I'm in kilograms, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
It's
Forgive me.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I got a surgery with my back. Yeah. So it's not that good as it was back in the days. Yeah. But it's
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
200
No.
kilograms, like 220 is like almost 500 pounds.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I was working out with him a couple of weeks ago. This guy's a monster, and yeah.
Man, I think he's
Yeah,
the only
it's-
one that can probably carry all the equipment in and out of the venue by himself. He's like, fuck all y'all. Like,
I'm
In
not
one.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Kinda.
No, keep on building up what you can, and of course, don't overdo it. As per the back surgery you had, do you think
Yeah.
was there a correlation between your bodybuilding efforts and the surgery you would end up having to get?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go too
I,
hard?
I think so. Yeah. I'm not made for this sport. Yeah. But I love it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, as I continue to attempt to build muscle mass, maybe I can ask you for some advice as you've like gone through your journey and you've built up your
Sure.
physical
Yeah.
capabilities.
Sure.
So,
Feel
what would
free.
be the first step you think in trying to balance out a a muscle to fat ratio? Like I make it sound like we're doing an ad for like some workout routine that you buy for $77 and it's just a fucking 3-minute video. But what would you say is most important to damn, because obviously I'm not that involved in it just yet, but I do want to become really really strong one day. I got some skinny freaking arms, dude. Like they're not like bone skinny, but they could be a lot better. So what do you think then is the first step to really building up your strength? And I know that's a pretty broad question, but
Yeah. All right. At first, you have to find something that you love.
Mhm.
That's it. When you're in love with bodybuilding, with powerlifting, then go for it. Well, you have to put the work in. That's it. Yeah, you have to go. Even on days when you don't want to go, you have to go.
Mhm.
That's it.
Fair enough.
Or go always and yeah, look for guys that are motivated too. Yeah.
Find like-minded people. Don't like be disciplined, or like be disciplined, not don't be disciplined.
Yeah.
Be disciplined, be persistent, be consistent. I can say that the closest I've gotten to bodybuilding was 2 different years where I was working from home, call center, same time that I was watching One Piece and all that. And I did like 100 push-ups a day, but like it was 100 push-ups a day, and it built up eventually to 2 minutes worth of planks a day because I'm really trying to focus on losing my excess fat right now. Like I'm not obese, but I could definitely do without the gut that I currently have. So maybe did you ever run into those complications at the beginning of your journey? Like maybe you had a bit of a gut and you were trying to melt it off, or was it always like building up muscle?
No. I always was. At first days, I was a skinny guy, a very skinny guy. Yeah. And later days, I was a fat guy. Yeah. And so at one point, when I get into the sport and the love flamed up, yeah. So I was 100% in, and I never skipped a day, never skipped a leg day, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Good shit.
And yeah, you just
All
have
right.
to go. That's
Yeah.
it. That's simple. Yeah.
And one other thing too, I guess, regarding workouts, I've heard that you can't exactly just spend an entire week just like doing 100 push-ups a day and doing like crunches and shit. Like you have to kind of rotate around your major areas, like biceps, triceps, chest, glutes, all that shit. At the very least, would you be able to confirm that you need to be able to do a rotation? Otherwise, you might experience burnout if you're trying to build a bunch of muscle.
Mm, I think you can train every muscle 2 times a week. Yeah,
Two
2 to
times a
3
week.
times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind then, sir. Thank you, Jan.
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right. Finally, Mr. Ju, it is your turn, sir. Let's go ahead and provide a summary, 10 to 20 minute summary of your background, everything relevant to you as a musician building up to joining Grimnis. Please and thank you.
All right. Yeah, I think my musical journey started out like very fucking early. When I was 5, I was no. Let's start at the very beginning. My mother was or is a classically trained musician. She's a professor at a university and studied music, all that shit. And she kind of had this attitude of her sons had to be doing at least something in the music industry, not in the music industry, but had to play an instrument. Not well, but just do it. So I started to play the drums like very early at like 5 or 6 years old, and I always went with her at every concert she did and every what is it called, musical she did. Yeah, that was my early upbringing. When I was like 12 or 13 years old, I picked up the guitar and was like, yeah, I kind of want to write songs, and I got into metal. I really dove into the deep end from the get-go. I was like, yeah, I need the hardest shit you can get.
Okay.
And I got like immediately into the kind of evil type of shit, like fucking Despised Icon and these type of guys.
Okay.
And yeah, I started writing music like at the same age, and yeah, I was really into the technical side of music. As a drummer, I like the really complex multi-pattern stuff like Tesseract and the Safety Fire and all those technical like bands did. And over the years, I obviously grew as a musician. I started a band with some friends back then, just a local metalcore band, not noteworthy at all, but yeah, it kind of helped me get some live experience and how the whole live gigging would work. Then I started my study. I studied music when I was like 22 years old. I'm still kind of studying the music today. Never finished this, but yeah. In this way, I'm a classically trained musician. I'm also a metal drummer, and I'm a guitarist. I'm a songwriter, and I've been in several other bands over the years. Mostly not.
But can you
metal.
play the trombone?
I can't. I can basically play every instrument that doesn't require to blow anything. So no trumpet, no trombone, no flute. I can probably get a
You
tone
don't
out of
have,
it, but
no. You do know that you don't blow the
I
trombone,
know.
you mouth farted. Okay, for the listeners, it's an important distinction.
I know.
You don't go, you go.
I know.
Okay, it's your segment, so.
Oh, it's fine. I love it. So yeah, I can probably get a tone out of those as well. But yeah, I'm a songwriter first and foremost, I guess, and I'm a drummer, obviously. I play a lot of guitar. I do a little study stuff on the side. And for my day job, I'm actually a drum teacher. I'm a backliner for some bands.
Okay.
I'm I'm a songwriter. I write songs and beats for several artists. And Grimnis and I kind of came together when, well, like 15 years back or something, when Nebel and I met at a Monuments concert.
Okay.
Like we knew each other online, like from exchanging song ideas from Guitar Pro, and we met at a concert, and that was kind of the starting point, I guess. And like 1.5 years ago, he was like, "Yo, do you want to join my band?" And I was like, "No, thanks." And well, he kind of insisted a few months later, and then I was like, "Yeah, sure." So yeah, now we're here.
No, you were playing hard to get, dude.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, it didn't line up timing wise. I was still involved with my other band project, and I was kind of going into the production side of things more, and But when he asked a second time, I was in between bands, and I had really liked the stuff, like the material he provided, and I kind of wanted a new challenge.
Badass. Okay. What's the logo on your shirt? What's that hoodie for?
Oh, it's Stay Cold. It's actually the same brand Jan has on.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized the logo.
Yeah.
I knew it from Jan's thing because they usually do like the collar. They were one
Yeah,
of
I
the
have
first
those
brands
too.
to do the collar. No, they say are they comfortable? Are they worth it?
I love them.
Okay.
I
I love them too, yeah.
exclusively wear them nowadays.
Sweet. I might have to consider investing into that then, because
Yeah.
I think Stay Cold probably is one of the only brands I've seen that basically just makes merch with a very illegibly deathcore version of their logo. They wrap it around the collar, and that just started a whole trend. Like so many companies are doing it now, bands are doing it now, like Chelsea Grin. I love to see it. I love to see the innovations in the fashion industry for our culture. Awesome. So, next question I would probably ask, and this is technically for everyone. Who is the tech head of the band? Who is the tech guy? Who's like the guy who's like really, really obsessed with getting the best plugins, the best gear for their instrument? Like who's obsessed with that shit? If there is anyone.
I think it's in some regards it's everybody, or like to an extent, but I think being a working producer and mixing engineer, I think the one who's the deepest into this shit. Like I own a whole lot of plugins, 2 studios, and I'm gonna make sure that our next record is even better than the current one.
Interesting.
So I try to be as hands-on as I can be with everything and oversee everything. I mean, as for the basic production side as well as the writing side, I think Nabel is also very, very invested, especially with the symphonic stuff.
Okay.
But I try to kind of have an understanding of what everybody's doing so that we don't end up doing some dumb shit. So that's kind of my job, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
What goes to Hambrink? I think everybody in here is a gearhead, and I've some numerous talks about any detail of our gear with anybody. Maybe Jan just sending me guitar stuff and stuff like that, or having to talk with Chris Lineker about his pickup changes and stuff like that. Everybody's here pretty into gear, but for me, Chris Hambrink is like the over-the-top guy. He knows every detail, and I just can remember a conversation of Lineker and Hambrink in my kitchen when I had birthday. Like, these guys are talking for hours about the most spaced up gear stuff, and I was just walking by, and they just talking about any details of like cabling of it's crazy. But Chris is for me is a guy who has tested any plugin, who has experience with any microphone and stuff, and has to know what to say about every detail just a bit. And yeah, he's the one I would ask for any advice when I don't have a clue.
True. I think the difference that I have is that I try to look through plugins in the most analog way possible. So I don't try to just know this is a tool that does this, but I try to understand the fundamental functioning of every tool that I use. And I think that makes heaps of difference, especially when assessing new gear, new compressor types, new anything really. If you understand what's going on a electronic basis, it gives you some more rooms to think.
Fair enough. So you were saying that one of your missions right now is to make sure that the next record sounds even better than you guys' current one, The Path to the Flame. So maybe as far as gear, what are some of your wish list items that you're wanting to add to the plethora of gear, the arsenal of Grimnis, to make the next record sound better? Is there a specific piece of gear, or is it adjustment in production? Like, what's going through your head?
I think we got everything we need on the hardware side. And on the software side, I don't know. I like to try around stuff. Well, like whenever I feel like I've mixed myself into a rut, I try to rethink my whole signal chain, my mix bus chain, and whenever some plugin doesn't do what I want it to do, I just try out new stuff. That's kind of how I'm going about it. But yeah, the way that I see it, work with even better source material, first and foremost, record more in person. I think the last album was conceived more humanly disconnected, like stuff that we did on our own, just without anybody being there. And I think this time around the human factor is going to play a huge role because we can give each other feedback. We all have our own interests and visions for the sound, and I think in the end this will be a great contributor to the full version of Grimnis that we are trying to conceive here.
Badass. And I look forward to not only listening to the Path of the Flame for the first time, because I'm doing this terrible thing to myself recently where, in reference to our even potential Crosscast guests, like I said before, I only listen to their EP or album after I've done the Crosscast. That way I have more intuition. But I mean, just the album cover alone, like, I'm so interested in listening to this and seeing how the visualizer plays into the sound. I'm really looking forward to that. Gentlemen, I think the concluding question then for the people segment of the Anatomy Crosscast today on the 17th of March goes as follows. What do the members of Grimnis do to connect outside of musical creation?
I think that's one of
Roller
the
coasters.
yeah, roller coasters. Yeah, but to be honest, this is one of the hardest parts. We don't live in the same cities, just for parts. I mean, we are just sprinkled around in the area, and we don't have the time to meet up every time in person. And for some, we spend more or less time with each other. I mean, Chris and I, Hambriket, we probably spend the most time together because we share a studio place. So, and we have some, we call it team building events, where we just meet and hang out and just play some video games and stuff like that. And we absolutely enjoy this time because it's rare. So, but we are planning to have a few trips, like in the next month we're going to amusement park together and stuff like that. And as Chris said, the key element for the next record will be more interaction in the real life situation, just not sending files and being so disconnected from each other, but also in the whole process of writing this new record, it was like so intensely connected. I was in connection with every single member and just got more feedback, and we had talks and calls with each other. And so in opposite to the first release, where I was writing everything on my own and without any feedback of the members. So this new release is definitely more combined release of all our visions and our opinions and perspectives on the material. It's basically that. So we are basically getting started to have like an active band life that consists of the music making part and the outside of the band activities. So
wonderful.
But we are all befriended outside of the band. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's one of the best answers I've heard in a long time, is that at the very least y'all plan to meet up to go to an amusement park and just have a more human interaction. I love that Zineker decided to say like roller coasters. Like that's great. And whatever y'all can do to connect, like that's important. If you're going to be a band and you want to be a live band here in the near future, yeah, you have to be able to find some common ground, even if it sounds stupid or silly on paper. It's like, how do musicians and artists, like-minded people, like-minded enough at that, to stay in a band together, get through one full-length album, and have that just be the opening act? Like, you got to figure something out to do together. Otherwise, it's just business. And, like, that's way too fucking serious. That's way too serious. So, Nebel, I love that answer. That's great. Anyone else have any, like, ideas that they've been pitching with the other boys as far as, like, activities y'all plan to do together in the future?
Yeah, just recently we let's not forget we are a serious band and we are doing serious work. We went to educational field research tips to watch. We were watching going to a Lorna Shore concert to kind of see how it's done and get some inspiration. And of course, hijinks ensued. And yeah, it's just like you do the whole stuff and then you kind of have a bad day and it's go on a walk, drink beer, call your band leader about having
The German stuff, yeah.
purchased way too
German
many
stuff.
EMG pickups lately. And it's the small things in a digital world with busy adult lives, right? It's tough. So the small stuff really counts for me, at least.
Yeah.
And that's precious to me.
No, that's awesome.
As you said, it's these small things. That was so brilliant because Chris was on a walk and he called me and he was asking what I'm doing. I'm on a walk. Yeah, I'm on a walk too. So let's walk together. But we are like 50 kilometers from each other. Everyone had a walk independently, but we are on the phone. And it's basically like you would walk with a friend and just have a conversation for like 2 hours walking. And I mean, you can have so many ways to connect with people and just yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Well, in that case, gentlemen, I do believe that will be the end of the people segment and then the end of the first half of the show. Now, we get into the anatomy segment, and I think these two or three questions are better catered to that of the founding members of this project. Okay, these are the more clickbait questions, the ones that I would ask back in the day in person when members of bands that I was looking to ask these questions to were fresh, hot, and sweaty from a set. Well, today, we're probably all sweaty from sitting down for such a long time, but that's besides the point. But what and where did the name Grimnis come from?
I think I'm the only person who can answer that. So I will give my best. So Grimnis is basically like an imaginary German word. So everybody out there knows grim from the context of black metal. It's something that is grim, that is dark, and I mean, finding band names in 2024 is pretty hard because basically everything is taken. So you have all the from beneath the rotten, I don't know, and all these kinds of names. And I just wanted to have something that is very.
Oh, your mic cut out, Nabel.
So many ideas, and I was
There you go.
ending up on this word for some reason. It basically means grimness, like in the English version, but it's in a German version. It's way different because if you take this suffix "nis," you make something abstract in German. So you can translate darkness into the German word dunkel for dark, and heit, the suffix, to make something abstract. But there's also another version to make this. It works with the suffix "nis," and if you add "nis" in a German word, for example, the German word for the alternative word for darkness in German is finster, "nis." This is the difference because everything you put a "nis" in German to is something like mythical quality in it.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
it's way more older to use words with "nis" than the suffix "heit." So it's just like an epic old version of the German translation of grimness. So yeah. And I thought this is pretty cool for a black and deathcore band, and it's too cool not to use it.
It's too
So,
cool not to use.
Yeah,
No,
that's
great.
basically the stuff. Yeah,
And
yeah. No,
you're good. Okay. Just go. No, you go first. It's like a romantic call about to end. No, that's fantastic. I had a feeling, and I was really, really hoping that Grimnis had a correlation with that of German dialect and German language, and I really appreciate bands who do this. Not only that, but I appreciate when bands and projects have the gonads, the cojones, to utilize their local tongue and not just streamline it by making it into something blatantly English. Good example, I think, would be when I was talking with the lead singer of Stillbirth, and I was speaking with him earlier this year, and I pitched the idea to him of having like a German translated version of Stillbirth and printing that on some like black metal merch, and he's like, you know what, I think I'm going to do that. And he's like, I'll send you the design too once it's ready. I'm like, yeah, fuck yes. There are plenty of other bands in Germany alone that I've gotten close to or have hosted, and the session was just disregarded under certain contexts. Runes of Perception, Mental Cruelty, Red Means No Mercy are some of the bands that I can mention off the top of my head, but there are plenty of others that I've hosted from Germany or very close to Germany. And I've always been telling myself, I've always been like thinking that it would be so cool if they had merch translated into German. It just adds a little bit more local flair, and it tells me that sure, they don't worship the country that they're from, but they appreciate the difference and how that type of merchandise, even just the merchandise, might stand out. It's like, wait, American fans, right? They ask the question when they look at the design, what does that even say? It's like, dude, it's just the band name translated. They're like, oh, and they just have a very, very American white moment. But other bands that I've interviewed from Indonesia, for example, Agung of Makhluk. Makhluk is Indonesian for creatures. And when he finally dropped that, I'm like, wait, that's what Makhluk means? Yokai. That's monsters or, spirits in Japanese. It's like there is a band called Yokai. It's like there's just layers. there's a little bit more thought that's added to that, in my opinion. So I love to hear that Grimnis ends up being another example of this. Continuing then, the anatomy segment, gentlemen. These are the questions that I think really bring the anatomy part into the show. In the opinions of the members of Grimnis, who would be the blood, bones, heart, mind, or the other major body parts of the band, and why? I love seeing that guy's little smile there. He's like, I know who I am.
No, I don't. I want to hear the other guys. I want to hear them. Go ahead.
What I can say for certain is that Nebel is the brains of the entire mission. That's for sure.
Okay.
What did you say? I would you argue he's totally the heart. But I'm a romantic like that. No, it's you're the core, and core like Carcassonne, like Coro, is not the mind but the heart, because the mind would no functional harmony.
Good point. Yeah, good point. I would say I would go with both of you, except that I really don't know music theory. A brain would know music theory. That's the point. I just so passionately driven. So maybe something like the heart or maybe the nervous system around it or something like that. But for me, I had so many thoughts of this question. For me, one thing I can say is like for me, Jan is like the blood system. He drives so many passion around this band. He keeps things running. He's reliable to do things, and he brings all the energy to all the other parts. So he's like a motivating source, and brings life into all the other aspects, and it's just working for the body and Grimnis as a whole. So that's for me. Jan is like the blood system. Yeah.
Okay, Jan is the blood system. Nebel is the heart.
Appreciate
now,
it. Yeah.
what about the other members, guys? Like, the people deserve to know this. We need to make this diagnosis today.
People need to know. I would say Hambrink would be the bones. He would be like the skeleton. Wait, I'm German. My vocabulary is weird, but he erects us. He is like the one who produces the stuff and makes us stand in that way, keeps the flesh from being all gross and wobbly. Can someone take over, please?
That's a great answer.
Yeah, it's right.
In some way, I agree.
He keeps so many things in place, and he's so hard to get by. And he's kind of a working horse. So when I imagine like when you exercise, all your bones hurt and stuff like that, and this is basically Chris. He's such a grindy guy, and he has such a relentless grinding mindset, and he's always there to make the work, even if it hurts. So Chris is the guy you just when I walk to the studio, and it's like, I don't know, if it's 10 in the morning, he's there and he's working, and he's like the backbone. And if I'm leaving or just going into a quick check for some studio stuff, and it's 10 in the evening, Chris is there and is working on some stuff, and he is just so hard to break. And I would say bones is pretty good expression for Chris. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the femur.
He's a femur. Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so let's be as specific as saying then that Hambrick would be the femur, Nebel would be the heart, Jan would be the blood. So we still got two left. We still got two left to figure out. And these could be just niche bones or body parts. These could be the eyes. These could be the voice, which ironically, that would be too easy. That would be too easy for Hambrick, okay? Way too easy. So, he's the femur. Nebel is the heart. Jan is the blood. What about Sinecker and Ju?
I have a hot take about Jew. Don't get me wrong, but it makes sense. For me, you are the digestive system. So first off, he's a vegan. So
Make your case.
the first point.
Make your
And
case.
he reminds everybody about this. That's the first thing, in a good way. But in a metaphorical way, you can just pass everything to this guy and he's processing it. So no matter how hard it is or how hard to discuss it, he will do something out of it. You feed him stuff and he is processing it. And he doesn't ask for any advice or any reason or stuff like that, or any thanks or anything like that. He's just, you can give something for him and you can trust him and rely on him that he will do the best for the band out of it. So just like a digestion system, you feed him something and he just pulls out of the minerals and just brings it everywhere. And also he's so, like the digestive system, he's so diverse. He can just fill in every role, and even in specialized tasks like all this process. You have the guts, the liver, and all this. I don't know. And it's the same with Ju. He's not only a drummer, he's a producer. He's into all kind of technical stuff and brings business knowledge. He has so many like niche expertise, and that's for me. You like the guts.
Hell yeah. I like that. So then, we're so close. We just have yet to figure out something for Sinecker. So, I love that he dropped a heart. That's great. He's like, I like being the digestive system. What is Sinecker then?
Well, he's the spirit. He's the spirit.
Yeah, the soul.
He's everywhere and he's all over the place, and everybody loves him. And, he fills the room with joy.
No. I would have said I'm something like the eyebrows. It's like I'm there, sometimes pretty, sometimes irrelevant, and then it's okay. And
He's a spiritual.
I think the spirit is a little bit too much pressure for me.
Oh,
I love
will
that.
agree with the spirit, yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, in that case, gentlemen, all 5 members of the band have a placement now. They have a diagnosis, and more or less the correlation, the analogy of all these assigned body parts that make Grimnis function as a singular entity. It seems like this is pretty well agreed upon, which means that the entirety of the body is in agreement with itself. There are no tumors sticking out like a third nipple in random places. There's no, inconveniences. Everybody is in symbiosis, which is really solid. So, now that we've told the Cross Core, okay, the Cross Guild, if you will, which that's another One Piece reference, about the body parts of Grimnis, who, if there were only 2 bands to agree upon, would be the parent bands for Grimnis? Let's see how close we can get to each other's answers.
So you mean if 2 bands would have a baby, and that would make Grimnis?
Yes.
Oh!
That was a sound that was made before Grimnis's conception.
Oh, guys, let me sing. Somebody has to go first.
Yeah, so for me, like the way that I approach it, at least thinking about influences, being in the studio, kind of doctoring around with the sound, it's like in between Dimmu Borgir and Infinite Annihilator.
Ooh.
Yeah, for me personally.
Okay.
Fuck you, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, we got some hive mind answers going on here. This is exactly what we're looking for. Jan, Sineker, what about you guys? What do you got? Who do you think are the parent bands for Grimnis?
I still have to think about it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't have the mental framework and the necessary. I would say something. Can I think for 1 minute?
Yes. This is exactly why it was important to bring this question back. Y'all are just like, oh, you were just like, what the fuck? But it's oh wait, Sineca, I think he disconnected. He's frozen.
No.
Oh,
I'm just thinking. That's how I look when I think. Sorry.
what the fuck? You were like perfectly still for a second. No, there was no way. There had to have been some frozen frames in between there. He's like. That caught me off guard for a second. I'm like, man, he's really stumbled on this. Nabel, do you have an answer, sir?
Yeah, I've finally found something because I mean it's basically the same as Chris said, but for me it's like a mix of Cradle of Filth and Chelsea Grin kind of
Okay.
style.
Pretty
But,
close.
Yeah.
Well, we
It's-
do have an affair going on now.
Something like that.
A scandalous conception. Let's see. Jan, do you have an answer now, sir?
No.
Well, for me,
For me,
Dimmu
it's
Borgir
like-
has to be in the mix. Like, sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I was also saying Dimmu Borgir, but I was gonna fuse him with a wild card. I would say like Ludovico Einaudi. Yes,
Of course.
because of melodic content and atmosphere. I feel a connection there.
And I'm sure
It's,
those two bands felt a connection
yeah.
there too. Baby.
And they're thinking how to get rid of. Oh.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's most important so far is that we have Dimmu Borgir. Okay. That's a band that was agreed upon by 3 different members. And then we have Dimmu Borgir as one of the parent bands. And then either... What was it? Fucking... We had Chelsea Grin and one other one. So...
Infinite Annihilator.
Infinite Annihilator. Thank you, sir. So Chelsea Grin and Infinite Annihilator, which those are 2 very, very different deathcore bands, but only in the context that one has yet to perform despite their notoriety, and the other is a reputable MySpace deathcore band, but 2 very close in their chaotic heaviness, which could spell a lot of things for the bedroom activity for Grimnis's conception. Let's see. Jan, are you still stumped, sir?
I'm still, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think then, at least for now, the headcanon parent bands are Dimmu Borgir and either Chelsea Grin or Infinite Annihilator. And then there is the either French or German artist that Sineker ended up mentioning, which I couldn't pronounce that if I tried. It would be so
Isn't
much
he
worse than me
Italian?
even... What's up?
Ludovico Einaudi, isn't he Italian?
Yes, I had just Googled he's Italian.
I'm stupid. Not even the right 2 countries.
It's all EU. It's
This is like, he's
Okay.
damn American. No, that's okay. So we at least have like 3-4 parent bands. I mean, it's definitely a newer idea. People always
It's a
bounce.
volley-
Yeah, Honestly, that we have a bunch of scandals going on as far as parent bans for these newer projects, and that's the gossip, that's the tea to spill in deathcore and the heavier subgenres in the music world. But we'll go ahead and move forward on that note. So far, we know Dimmu Borgir is probably the mama, and then we got a deathcore band or an Italian melodic artist who is the papa. But with that being said, what do you all think separates Grimnis from other bands in the Ignite the Church or Black and Deathcore scene?
Think there's many bands pairing symphonic elements with deathcore these days. It's become kind of a trend, and rightfully so, because it's fucking awesome. But I think we strive to hit a specific nerve with the black metal influences. Our black metal influences feel less I would say like romantic or colorful as some other bands. We try to keep it very grim, and as the name suggests.
Yeah, as the name suggests.
I also try to give us a sound or a mix that can stand out, kind of rip through the mold. Yeah.
Fair enough. And I guess I'll just have to see how that tear in the boundaries in the framework of Ignite the Church culture, how the path to the flame will just tear through that like a razor sharp blade through silk curtains. So I look forward to that.
Now, one thing I would like to add is I think we are trying to achieve a perspective on the genre that is not so common, because I know exactly what influenced me to write all this material, and it maybe connects to the question before. I was basically influenced when I was like 15, 16 years old. I was totally into this symphonic black metal entry drugs. So name it Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth, Dark Funeral, and later on stuff like, I don't know, Limbonic Art, Nagelfar, all this melodic black metal stuff. This was totally my stuff. And so there is something original about this sound, and my vision was just to translate it into modern standards. It's not that making black and deathcore was my main goal, so to go into this genre, but having a conversation about this material to what is the framework to make this work in a modern environment. And then you add all the elements like the heavy vocals, the breakdown sections, and like infinite lighter like parts when you start this grindy stuff, and we can play around with that. And I think on the next record we will go a bit back into that romantic aspect of the genre and not so much dive into the heaviness without losing the connection to the genre, and just get this vibe back of this like 2000s symphonic black metal stuff. So I had someone who's a fan of us who was exclusively into black metal, and she was telling me that I don't listen to deathcore at all, or like all this black and symphonic deathcore, but I listen to Grimnis because it gets the vibe of the black metal essence. So
okay,
I think that is one of the better compliments I got for this material.
Naturally, yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Because I find that in the black metal aesthetic that we are going for, especially regarding the new material that you are not going to hear today, but you are going to hear in the future, I promise, that we incorporate atmospheric and melodic parts that don't really sound like atmospheric and melodic black metal tends to sound like very vague, very abstract, very vibey, because I think the melodies and harmonies that we use are concise, they are concrete, you can follow them, and you don't really get lost in them, which is a part of it which reflects the grimness aspect again. It's not a benevolenceness or transcendenceness, it's grimness. And even though it has a melancholy quality, I think what we really excelled at is capturing the melodic aspects of the genre without losing drive, which is hard, but somehow we, I think for me, have found like a perfect storm.
Sweet. Okay.
Thanks for listening to my TED Talk.
Of course. So one thing too, going into this conversation, right? This is really how I became fascinated with bands like Grimnis, is by finding other bands like Mental Cruelty. Now, they are also local to Germany, and I think it's fair to say that the way that they are incorporating almost a eldritch folk vibe into their black and deathcore, truly infusing or attempting to infuse the black metal inspired tremolo into some of their melodies through their albums, A Hill to Die Upon and Zweilicht so far, I think are some of the best demonstrations in modern deathcore that could compare to what you gentlemen are quoting. Now, has anybody in chat had an opportunity to listen to either A Hill to Die Upon or Zweilicht? And if so, do they agree that Mental Cruelty is kind of the beginning of bands trying to diverge into more like epic, more theater-friendly approaches to black and deathcore? If not, let's talk about it, because I'm super curious on you guys' opinion regarding these two records then. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing to ask.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. It's just hard to wrap your head around. Because the albums were very diverse. I think especially on Hill to Die Upon, the style was straightforward. The black metal influences were done very tastefully. Not in the same way that we do it, but definitely very tastefully. And I loved their slam elements, always loved them. Like the albums before, they were way more slammy for Mental Cruelty, so love to hear that on that album. And with Zwielicht, it was a bit more on the folkish side, as you said, which kind of brings you away from the black metal vibe, in my opinion, because with black metal, everything has to kind of be like black and white and very like spiky soundscape sometimes. And it was more on the emotional side, which was great as well. Yeah.
Fair enough. So yeah, perhaps I think because that's a great answer, and that is what I was looking for. But I guess I'm also asking, which you more or less answered, Hambrick, like how would then A Hill to Die Upon, and you said Zwielicht?
Zwielicht, yes.
Okay. Zwielicht. Okay. I totally thought it was Zweilicht for the longest time. I'm just like, that sounds pretty German. Zwielicht. So maybe perhaps Grimnis and what it's trying to do for this next record. I mean, again, I have yet to listen to Path to the Flame, so I really don't know. I'm walking into this blind. How does Mental Cruelty's A Hill to Die Upon and Zwielicht differ? Like, would you say that Path to the Flame then, pardon me, Sinecker was talking about earlier, how Grimnis, this is one of his focuses when he's writing, melodies that carry a lot more throughout the entirety of the record as opposed to singular songs? Like, I guess I'm trying to compare two bands, which is not the best idea, but like, I don't know. It seems to be like a staple that's going into the near future. The way that they're approaching it, even if they're diverting possibly from the main focus that you guys are still wanting to target in on.
It's
I
all right.
mean, maybe I can try to answer that question. I mean, it's the one thing is it's absolutely reasonable and obvious to compare us to Metal Cruelty or something like Lorna Shore or I don't know, stuff like to a degree Warm Shepherd, you name it. So I mean, from a writer's perspective, it's so hard to be honest to not end off or end in a rip off of something that is there and has or shares a perspective on the material. So for the Metal Cruelty guys, I know all these guys are so rooted into this whole metal thing and the black metal aesthetic, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they have basically we share so much influences. These are guys who are, you can wake up them in 4 in the morning and they will tell you something about hidden battery tracks and stuff like that in sleep. So they come from a very similar point or where I come from. And they are so influenced by all this old black metal stuff and try to incorporate this in like a deathcore costume. And they are evolving. And I mean, at the end, of course, I was listening to their stuff and I was seeing the similarities to all the stuff I was doing. But in the end, is you have as a songwriter, you have a certain like a songwriting, like a genre kit, where what your music consists of. And for me, it's like having all this epic melodic stuff, all the tremolo picking, all this romanticizing elements like Dimmu Borgir had and Cradle of Filth had. And I used to be a deathcore kid for so many years, and then I took just like Despise Icon like parts and rewrote them in this context. And then you have all this modern slam stuff that you add to this music and all the breakdown stuff to make it in a modern way. And basically, that's it. That
Okay.
is the kit with which all those bands you mentioned are writing with. And so you necessarily end up in the same corner. But the thing is where you can differ things is how you approach this and how you emphasize certain parts of that and how you interpret it. So of course you have genres for a reason.
Yes.
And yeah, in the end is I mean I'm honored to be compared to those bands actually, because these are bands with like 10 years plus background and we are newcomers in our band. And I was, for me it's not negative to seen among these bands and to be compared to them. So just this is like an approval of, hey, you can be told among these names as a
Right.
songwriter. You are able to reach all this and be associated with the same vibe.
Right. Absolutely. Now, let's see. Here's a better way of asking it. So you have a new fan of Grimnis coming up to your table, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm hearing all this music live for the first time, but I have yet to listen to the album on my own." Or maybe it's a brand new person, they saw the album cover. If they were to ask you, quote, it's kind of like Mental Cruelty, but quote, like there's a space in there. How would you fill in that blank for them? Like, yeah, it's kind of like Sweelicht or A Hill to Die Upon, but like what could possibly fill in the space there for Path to the Flame so far? I guess that's a better way of asking that terribly long version of the question before.
I think it's a way a bit more naive and raw. So Mental Cruelty is so polished and brilliant in its own way. But in Grimnis, we just say something. I just told myself, I don't want to rethink every edge of the song. I don't want to rethink every edge of the riff and go for the most perfect version of it. And just bring this whole black metal idea of rawness and kind of naive stupidity of doing things just straight into the face. So may it be a heavy part, a slam part, or a melody. I would say everything is not fully developed and thought through. It's just more okay. Let's do this and
Yeah.
fuck around and find out. So
True. Okay.
yeah, it's
like
more
mental
raw.
cruelty, but dumb.
It's like mental cruelty, but younger, I guess. That's a. I think that's a good way of saying it. But like even then, there's so little thought that would be invested into that sentence. It's like, yeah, we're just newer. We're just newer, but we're taking on similar subgenre approaches with, as Nabel said, a different genre kit. I like that. I like the language of that. Simply because when I personally am writing songs these days, like you said, it's very hard to find an original band name, let alone not be compared to other bands. So what I do is I flip that on my head. I'm like, I fully embrace it. And song by song, with what I'm writing for my own stuff, I'm like, okay, so this is supposed to be a faster, ingested friendly death metal part, but then there will be a Ginger-esque break where you hear a lot more of the bass guitar coming out while there are clean, ominous, lullaby tone female vocals in there, and then it'll kick back up into a more spite-esque deathcore moment. And that's kind of how I write my songs, because I don't have any instruments. I'm just inspired by a great variety of bands and musicians that I've heard along the way, and they all have their niche purposes and their niche applications. That's why so many people ingest so much more music these days, even compared to the 2000s, I would argue, because there are so many more thousands of bands to choose from. And unfortunately, that also means that with the attention span and all with the wide plethora of different artists, sometimes it can just be the first 10 seconds and you're like, nah, and you switch it, and that band is completely disregarded. It's an unfortunate side effect of all the music that is available, but that's the genre kit. That's sticking with me, man. That's sticking with me for a long time, and hopefully that will help any and all musicians that I work with in the future for my own projects, like, understand, like, this is the genre kit for this song. Like, boom. Lovely. Beautiful. So, next segment, this is this is the second and only other Crosscore Patreon exclusive segment. This will be Under the Skin, right? This was in the original formula. This is track by track lyrical analysis with a twist, I think, though most podcasts I've listened to and watched, they don't really do this because it can take a good chunk of time. Who was the primary lyricist for Path to the Flame?
Was basically me.
Okay.
And as I said, I've set up the whole project and wrote the album entirely. And then just I got the material to Chris, and he was going all over it, just writing his own versions of the songs and rearranging it and adding stuff, taking stuff away, basically making my lyrics his version and giving his flavor to it. So because he has a very distinct style of writing lyrics and processing lyrics, and this was like the story behind the lyrics of this record.
Hell yeah. Okay. So diving then into Under the Skin of Path to the Flame, Mr. Nabel, being that you are one of the main creative minds behind this record, if not the original one, right? If this wasn't an album, as a creative medium, maybe a story, a TV show, or something similar, what would Path to the Flame be and why?
I think it would be something like a hack and slay computer game. I mean, it's like it tells a story, but it's not so complex. It's pretty straightforward. It's it going from it's basically pictures the rise of a protagonist and ends up in an epic battle in heaven. It feels like a campaign of a Diablo game or something like that. It's cheesy in its own way because it's just so picturing an epic way of doing things, and it's so straightforward. I would say it's a dark hack and slay game. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And then maybe like a Souls-esque game or something too. That could be fun. The album cover definitely looks that genre. Okay, cool. So, let's talk about the album cover artist, right? Because I've been meaning to do this a lot more. So who is the artist, and how did the conversations go to get the final picture, the final version of the album cover that y'all would receive?
Yeah. The album cover is done by Stan Ivan. I have to look it up if it's correct. I think it's Dawn. Wait, let me check it. He's from Russia, so I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Dan Ivan. So his Instagram is art _Stan _Ion, but written as Ion. So he's an artist from Russia. And for us, it was important not to jump on the AI train. So we wanted a real, painted picture as a cover. And as I said, he's a classical trained oil painter from Russia.
Ooh.
Who basically, but he did it in with a digital painting. So
that's okay.
So a real oil painting was out of our budget, but we agreed on a digital painting, and he did a fantastic job. I basically told him the vision behind it and showed him some examples. And he was all into it. He was exclusively listening to the music before release. So he was capturing the vibe of it. And I think he did a great job because the cover is so bold, and I think that underlines some elements of our sound. It's not so thin and ethereal, but it's very straightforward and bold. Yeah.
Yes. So if I may ask too, because I know I would love to hear about this before listening to the record, what were some of the references, like reference pictures or pieces or maybe even pop culture media that you offered to the album artist for him to create the piece?
Basically, other bands' albums with like a do and don't list, just to show him basic concepts of the art style. And he pretty much came up with ideas pretty soon. So he sent me pencil sketches of the composition and stuff like that, and this was so natural and so quick. So definitely can recommend this guy. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I'll definitely consider him going into the near future for my own band, because I just love the way the art style looks. There are artists like the one that did your piece. There's Caitlin Stokerman's, there's Erskine Designs. There are plenty of them around the scene. You just have to take a look and really window shop. There are a couple I have in mind for multiple releases that I want to do for my own project, but I definitely love how Lord of the Rings friendly this piece ended up being. It looks great. It's grim. It's grim. But it's also there's plenty of fantasy elements in there, and I love it. So now, after giving some credit to the album artist and discussing just a standard and just what not to do, what to do, and the idea came organically, let's go ahead and do track by track lyrical analysis, a summary of each of the tracks, because I'm sure I have a feeling this album follows a story of some kind. So let's go ahead and tell your audience, as well as the Cross Core, the story of Path to the Flame, please and thank you.
I can try to break this down. So basically,
we could go back and forth. You one track, I one track.
Yeah, come against one. We can do that. yeah, I think in general the whole plot is like the rise of a fictive Lucifer, or an alternative version of Lucifer rising from a hidden place, like in a book or something, and regaining all his powers to, yeah, challenge, finally, in an epic battle, the forces of heaven or something like that. It's not so concrete and precise. It's more like a general idea of the album.
Okay.
It's something that is hidden and is regaining power and is, yeah, challenging his place. That's
Okay.
like the general idea.
Sweet. So with track 1, we have Ignis Occultus.
Yeah, this is basically um, like um, uh, how can I say it? It's a prayer and it's an alternate version of a prayer. So with alternate Latin lyrics.
Badass.
Prayer to Satan.
Ah, okay. I like it. Track 2, we got Sigil.
Yes, so in Sigil is kind of about like occult sigil found in an old book that was kept away from the feeble minds of men for many centuries, and then one daring soul dares to break open the gates and take hold of that book and see the sigil and become enchanted with it, essentially, and becoming a disciple of Lucifer.
Hell yeah. Okay. Track 3, we have Hellborn Herald.
Yeah, it's basically like, as said, maybe this is the depiction of a hack and slay game. It's just the story of a Hellborn Herald enfolding its power and rising from the underworld. Yeah.
Okay. Track 4, Key of Bones.
Yeah, Key of Bones is I think Nebel has to take away that one. I think you wrote like the whole thing. Like, what exactly was it again?
Key of Bones is like, a lot of stories are the stories of people in temptation or tempted to do something wrong. And Key of Bones is like the story of a crusader knight who is basically committing all these crimes and all these horrific things in the name of the crusade, and finally sees himself and reflects his actions that he basically becomes an empty shell of in his mission and ends up as that version of himself at the end, and it's just like like a ghost without a mission. Yeah.
See, I like that you guys decided to name the track Key of Bones, though, because that could have just been Ghost. But you're like, no, it needs something a little bit different. It needs something different. I like that, though. Key of Bones is sick. Track 5, we have Lamia?
Yeah, Lamia is kind of about a succubic spirit, like the vision of a woman that's pulling somebody down, that lures with eroticism, and just kind of destroys the enchanted mind that's following her.
Okay. Track 6, we have The Brightest Star.
And it's basically also a story of like an acolyte or follower of Lucifer, who is following him blindly, and is also lured into doing horrible things, but yeah, like following this morning star as he would be the brightest thing he knows, and he's basically blinded by his power and therefore becomes a blind follower. Yeah.
Okay. Track 7, Obsidian Ceremony.
Yeah, this one's kind of about dark ritual, a ceremony to worship and summon the devil, essentially, and it gets pretty explicit on the the actions done during this ritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Track 8, From the Realms Below.
That is pretty straightforward, just about a rising army from the realms below, from the underworld. It's like gathering an army in the underworld to race with it. And
Okay. Track 9, The Pact.
Yeah, the pact is kind of similar theme-wise to Obsidian Ceremony, but yeah, it's more like I think the whole song has a feel of a witch dance to it. It's
Ooh.
kind of like
Like a waltz.
Yeah, like a waltz.
Oh,
Definitely. Yeah,
man. I can't
yeah,
wait to
and-
listen to this.
I think the lyrics kind of reflect on it. It feels and sounds playful, but with very very grim lyrics, and it has a vibe to it. The
Okay.
there's a lot of which things that are going on there. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Concluding track. Track 10, Anthem of Ashes.
Yeah, it's basically the final in flames of this whole campaign, as you will name it like that. It's like the epic end battle. Yeah.
Okay. So that would be the end of the track listing then. And question 5 in Under the Skin goes as follows. After conducting a lobotomy for Path to the Flame, and after us concluding the first half of the podcast session talking about bands that inspired all of the members in Grimnis, what distinguishes Path to the Flame from other iconic records relevant to deathcore in your own personal opinion? I more or less asked this question already earlier, but hopefully this is more clear.
I think it's a kind of honesty, because when you just look at Grimness for what it is in such an interesting state, because we are so ambitious, and we have all this like professionalism going on in this band. We have so much talent and potential, but on the other hand, it's like so DIY and so naive. We are basically like a hyper competent amateur band. So we are on the brink and just getting started to fully
On the Humbrink.
what?
We are on the Humbrink. I'm sorry.
We are on a handbrink, genau. Yeah, we are just on the brink to start out this so professionally, and I think it's an interesting phase where we are, because we have all these tools, we have all the experience, and we have this fat production, but this is just a start for us. This feels like a giant demo for us. So we have been, or I as a songwriter, or Chris as a producer and vocalist, we have been so much trying out on this album, which works, and it's so just a starting point for Grimness and not an end product. And I think that's interesting. Yeah.
I agree. Well, I think that correlates pretty well with the next question then. How and why did Path to the Flame become an album instead of an E EP?
I had too much material and too much time. That's the stuff because I mean there are more tracks than the 10 ending on the album, but for me the time span was so big by finding new members and going through the pandemic, and I had so much time producing this and co-producing this with Chris and going round after round, and so we had member issues, so finding these guys took a time. Convincing you to join this band took time. So we had a lot of time doing this, and so it ended up being an album. So as I said, it's for us it's a giant demo production.
Yeah.
Just throw it there. Let this record be our playground and make experiences.
Hell yeah. I like that answer. Anyone else have any answers to that? If not, no worries.
I mean, I can't say anything about why it became an album, but I can say why I'm happy that it was an album. Because I feel like with an album, from a producer side, you have to create a bigger world for the sounds. I feel like it has to be like a very nice listen through everything. Every song kind of has to have its own identity, but at the same time, it has to have a conclusive sound that ties them all together. And yeah, it was a nice little challenge there. It was really, really cool. I had lots of fun working on it. I loved that it was an album, not an EP.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Well, in that case, I do believe that will be the end of the Under the Skin segment. And we got one final segment. I know you guys have been sitting around for a long time, and I appreciate your patience, your contributions to the narrative that your fans and the Cross Guild alike will be unfolding and unleashing upon their ears here in the near future. Us finally getting this Crosscast done in the first place. It feels really nice. This is Slingshot. This is the final segment of the show, okay? So first question in Slingshot goes as follows. What did you guys think of the Anatomy Crosscast? What did you enjoy about it, and what do you think could be better for future guests? This is an opportunity for constructive criticism.
Oh,
I mean, I was having a ball so far. So, I was expecting if I can go into a little detail, I was kind of nervous, and it was like, oh, an interview, and it's like, oh, we gotta represent the band, and in the end, it was like hanging out with a bird, which is for me,
Nice. I love to hear
great.
that answer.
I also like that it's like an open space, so I just want to go with that. I just thought it will be this interview ping pong style format, but it, as Chris said, it's like I feel like hanging out and just discussing about our music, and it makes things so easy and discussable. So yeah, that's for me, it's a good point. So maybe it's an opportunity just to have fixed time frames, just to see, okay, we have like 20 minutes for that and really 20 minutes for that, and if we cross it, we have to cut it. That's like one thing I enjoy having, because from a band's perspective, you have like an internal timeline where you have the questions and you see, okay, I can say like 10 minutes about this and 10 minutes about this, and then you make a mental check mark. So this point is over. So, and having a fixed time frame extremely helps for a band like us to structure our own statements.
Yes.
So that's maybe it.
Fucking Germans wanting to be punctual.
Yeah, especially with German bands, you should run the clock. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind for sure. Anyone else have any constructive criticism to offer? Any commentary to add regarding that? Because I would love to hear everyone's opinion on this show. This is, after all, going to be Crosscast like 126, 7, 128. Like we've been doing this for a little bit.
I think you've been awesome host, awesome atmosphere. You are just a very chill dude, and it's a blast answering your questions, really, I don't have any criticism.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see. I think Sineker and Jan?
Yeah, I opened the mic. Yeah, the mic. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you are. I'm sorry. So
You're good. You're good.
yeah, you are a very humble guy. Yeah. Thank you for having us here. It was a great experience. Yeah, and I like it when it's not that you know.
Strict.
Okay. Strict, yeah, thank you. It's not that strict. It's cool. Everyone is chilled, and we had fun. It was awesome, yeah.
Good. And that's really all that matters. But Nabel, I definitely agree with you on the like. Even my co-hosts have been bothering me about that. They're like, "Yeah, we need it to be probably a little bit shorter. That way, these more bands are interested in jumping onto the show in the first place." I'm like, "You don't get it, man. Like, you don't get it." But at the same time, I strive to continue to make adjustments that do indeed make this experience more palpable, more applicable to the schedule of bigger bands across the scene. Bigger and smaller bands. Like, hell, some bands are just starting out and they still don't want to be, in reality, sitting down for a conversation for, I don't know, 4 hours. Like, nobody wants to be doing that. Not really. But it's also homework to me. And that's how it is on my end. This is homework. This is getting really, really involved with the bands and seeing how that first conversation could carry into the future when we possibly travel to Germany and we're like, "Hey, Grimnis, what's up?" You're like, "Oh my God, you're the 4-hour podcast guy we talked with like 3 years ago. That was a pretty long conversation. How you doing?" And we just share a Guinness over it later on or something like that. Sineker, I think I saw that your mic was unmuted for a second, or did I see that incorrectly?
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to say, yeah, man, you get it. You are the 4-hour podcast guy. It was a blast, man. I mean, um, I'm so conflicted because, of course, I'm going to bed way late, but also it's a passion project that you don't get to do so often, which is neat.
True.
So
Okay.
I don't know how to stand on that matter,
No, it's
and
okay.
I'm gonna mute again.
He's like, I'm gonna. All right. So last couple questions then, and this is for sure to conclude this. Slingshot Part A. What song from the promoted release would you like to see on TAC's Greatest Hits, a Spotify playlist featuring a song from every band we've ever hosted so far? So what would be the track from Path to the Flame that y'all would want to see on the Spotify playlist?
Digital, maybe I can't speak for the whole band. It's
Right.
either Digital or Key of Bones. One of them, I think.
For Sigil.
Sigil. Okay. Kia Bones and Sigil.
I'm in another Sigil vote.
Sigil.
Yeah, Sigil.
It's just so
Sigil.
catchy.
Drew's like, yeah, might as well be Sigil.
Well, I'm gonna be the outlier and say the brightest star.
Okay. Okay.
But no, Sigil.
Well, we do have 3 votes on Sigil, so we'll go ahead and add that. Finally, final question ever for now. What bands would you want to see on the Anatomy Crosscast in the future, and why do they deserve to be dissected on this show the way that we've done it so far? A lot of tilting heads. I love to see that. Like, shit.
I think some guys who might be right up your alley are Peius Morte, also a German band.
Okay.
Do you know the band Half? HATH.
No.
They're New York locals, I think.
Ooh,
So-
okay.
They're amazing. Been listening to them a ton.
Awesome. So we got 2 bands so far, 2 that I have no idea about, and 1 from New York, which would be, after Awaken Providence, our first, and therefore a second, New York local band. That's pretty cool. Band within the States. What else do we got? Oh, thank you. Bios Morte. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad you decided to type it in chat. I was like, I'm not gonna know how to spell that. Let's see. I see you.
Yeah, I see you too, man. But oh God, it's getting late. I'm getting crazy. No, I just wanted to say I don't know. I think any band that has a lot of passion would be right up your alley. But I have to call upon the help of my mates because I'm the type of guy who listens to the same songs for like years on end. And by the same songs, I mean two songs, which are so basic. You have you heard of a band called Iron Maiden? Like
Oh
that
yeah.
type of shit. Yeah,
I think I've heard of them
that's
before.
not helpful, I know, but
Isn't that one of the Avengers?
yeah,
But
I think so. I think the whole thing is about being environmentally friendly or cautious, I think.
The Sokovia Accords would not be environmentally friendly.
I would like to throw a project named Default Tongue in here. It's a small project, but I think the guys are really talented. I think it's just a duo, some kind of recording project, and I think they are pretty underrated. And it's one of the smaller projects I discovered, and I think these guys are extremely talented, have a lot to tell. So yeah.
Okay. And what would the... Oh, you're probably going to type it in the chat or something.
Befold Tongue.
Oh, Befold Tongue? Okay, sick. All right, well...
One other
Oh,
suggestion.
Befouled Tongue.
Der Weg einer Freiheit.
Yeah, Germans Befold.
Jew?
One other suggestion. Der Weg einer Freiheit. A German death. What are they? Black metal band?
Yeah, they're fucking
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Black metal.
They're
Okay.
fucking amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
Well,
top tier German black metal. That's
Hell yeah. And if y'all can do me a favor too, because now we have 4 recommendations, and I think that'll be enough. So I do appreciate your recommendations. Be sure to send me a link. I know Befoul Tongue, Pies Morte and Hath, and the other German band. Go ahead and send me a link for that. But I'll tell you what, it's nice to finally be recommended Befoul Tongue, because that is a band that we've been hoping to host for a long time. And it would be awesome to finally sit down and have a recommended, slingshotted conversation with Isaiah Driscoll of Befoul Tongue. But, ladies and gentlemen, and everything possibly in between, my dear Cross Guild, the Cross Corps, it is now 4:22 p.m. on the 17th of March. That will be the end of this Anatomy Crosscast section after so long of the opportunity itself stewing, fermenting, with the entirety of Grimnis, a German Ignite the Church band. After this, I'll be listening to Path to the Flame. I will have the front to back session probably ready by the end of the night, or the end of the night for me, and I'll send it over to them unlisted. That way they can see my reaction. But, just like the Great Eternal Music Machine, let's keep cranking, and we'll see y'all later. Boom, boom. Oh. Wrong button.
Satan.